On June 21, 2025, a very important and shocking event took place. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, gave a speech to the public. He announced that the military of the United States had carried out attacks. These attacks were made against specific places inside Iran. American air forces, using planes and missiles, hit three main locations where Iran works on its nuclear program. These sites are where Iran works with nuclear materials. The goal was to damage them badly. President Trump stated that these attacks were very successful. He said they severely hurt Iran's ability to continue its nuclear work, especially the parts needed to make a nuclear bomb. The main reason given by President Trump for the attacks was to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons. The United States government believes Iran is working hard to build a nuclear bomb, which the U.S. sees as a major threat. The President made it clear that the United States would not allow Iran to have this very dangerous weapon. Before the United States made these attacks, there was already a serious conflict happening. Israel and Iran were fighting each other. Israel had attacked targets in Iran first, and Iran had responded with its own attacks on Israel. This fighting between Israel and Iran had already led to many people being hurt and killed in both countries. The decision by the United States to attack Iran's nuclear sites made this war between Israel and Iran much, much bigger and more dangerous. It meant the United States was now directly involved in the conflict between these two countries. This sudden and major action by America caused a lot of fear and worry in many parts of the world. People were concerned that this could be the start of a much wider war in the Middle East region. The situation became very tense because of this big step by America. Donald Trump is the current president of the U.S., and it is real. 2. Two countries fighting. Israel and Iran were in a difficult conflict even before other countries became more involved in the fighting. These two nations have been enemies for a very long time, going back many decades. Their relationship has always been complicated and often tense. They often supported different groups in other countries in the Middle East, which added to their rivalry. This long history of not being friends made the recent fighting very serious. The direct fighting between them started around the middle of June. Israel made the first big attacks. Israeli planes flew and hit different places inside Iran. Israel said that its reason for these attacks was to stop Iran from building nuclear weapons. The leaders in Israel believe that Iran wants to make a very powerful and dangerous bomb, which they see as a big threat to their country. They said they must act to prevent this from happening. But Iran said that what Israel claimed was not true. Iran told the world that its nuclear program is only for peaceful uses, like making electricity for homes or for use in medicine. They said they are not trying to make weapons at all. After Israel attacked, Iran quickly responded. Over the next few days, Iran launched many missiles and small flying machines called drones. These weapons were sent towards Israel. Some of these hit Israeli military bases and cities, causing damage. The fighting was very hard and sad for people in both countries. Many lives were lost, and many people were hurt. In Iran, the state news reported that hundreds of people were killed and thousands of others were injured because of the attacks. In Israel, the government reported that dozens of civilians died and hundreds were injured from the missiles that landed. This shows that the conflict was already causing a lot of pain and suffering on both sides well before any new actions took place. So the situation was already very dangerous before the United States made its announcement about joining the attacks. Israel and Iran were fighting directly and fiercely. The main reason they fight is the deep worry that Iran is trying to get nuclear weapons. Israel sees this as a major danger. Their long history of being enemies, combined with this specific fear about nuclear technology, made the situation ready for a big problem and a possible bigger war. The conflict was already a reality for the people living there. 3. America joins the fight. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, spoke to the country from his office on television. This happened on June 21, 2025. He made a very important announcement. He said that American military forces had carried out attacks on places in Iran. American planes and ships were used for this big operation. They used strong bombs and powerful missiles to hit their targets. The American attacks were aimed at 3 specific sites in Iran. These sites were called Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordo. They were known to be the main places where Iran was doing nuclear work. President Trump said that the attack was very successful. He stated that it had badly damaged Iran's ability to make nuclear material at these sites. He specifically mentioned the Fordo site, which is built deep underground. He said that this site was obliterated or completely destroyed after being hit by American bombs. The president gave some details about how the attack was done. Large American planes, known as B-2 stealth bombers, dropped very heavy bombs on the Fordo site. These bombs, weighing 30,000 pounds, were specially designed to hit strong underground buildings. American ships also fired Tomahawk missiles, which hit the Natanz and Isfahan sites. This showed the world the strength of the American military. President Trump was very clear about one important point. He said that American soldiers would not go into Iran to fight on the ground. He repeated strongly that there would be no American boots on the ground there. The main reason for America taking this action, he explained, was to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons. He described Iran as the world's most dangerous regime. He asked Iran to agree to stop the fighting quickly and make peace. However, he also gave a warning. If Iran did not stop fighting fast, America would attack other targets with the same power and skill. Officials in America explained that these attacks were only on military places. They said America did not want to change the government in Iran. This action by the United States was a big change. It meant that America was now directly involved in the fight that was already happening between Israel and Iran. The attacks focused on stopping Iran's nuclear work. America and Israel worried this work could lead to Iran building dangerous bombs. The president's speech explained America's reason. Use strong military power to remove the nuclear threat, but keep American soldiers safe by not sending them into Iran for ground fighting. This event made the situation in the Middle East much more serious and tense. 4. Why America acted. Leaders in the United States government talked for many days. They needed to decide what to do. Some advisors told President Donald Trump to wait. They thought attacking could make the fight bigger and longer. Other people, like the vice president, thought the U.S. should act. They wanted America to help Israel right away. People who support President Trump also had different ideas. Some did not want America in another big war. They said, "We don't need another Iraq." People like Steve Bannon and Tucker Carlson had this idea. But others, like Senator Lindsey Graham, felt Iran was a big danger to Israel. They told President Trump that America must help finish the job and stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons. President Trump listened to different views. He also spoke about the situation with Iran. He said he was talking to Iran, but did not think other countries could stop the fighting. He made it clear that if he had to choose between a war and Iran having a nuclear bomb, he would choose to use force. America had left an old agreement with Iran about its nuclear program some years ago. This deal was meant to stop Iran from making nuclear weapons. But after America left, Iran started more nuclear work. The U.S. law says the president should talk to the U.S. Congress before starting a war. But the Congress was not asked about this attack before it happened. This made some people in Congress angry. They said the president did not follow the law. After the attack, people in Congress spoke about it. Some leaders from the Republican Party said President Trump did the right thing. They said it was important to protect Israel and stop Iran. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, praised the action. But other people in Congress, especially many Democrats, said the attack was wrong and dangerous. They said it was not allowed by the U.S. Constitution. Leaders like Hakeem Jeffries and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez strongly spoke against it. So, the U.S. acted after many talks and different ideas. President Trump made the final choice to stop Iran's nuclear work by using military force. The decision was not easy, and it caused strong feelings and different opinions among American leaders and people. 5. What the world said. After the United States attack on Iran, people around the world reacted quickly. Israel was very happy. Prime Minister Netanyahu praised President Trump's brave decision. He said this action was important for history. He felt it would stop Iran, which he called a dangerous regime, from getting dangerous weapons. Countries friendly to Israel in the Middle East and in the West mostly supported the action or did not say much against it. For example, countries that signed the Abraham Accords just asked for things to be calm. But many other countries were very worried. The United Nations is a large international group working for peace. The head of the UN, Secretary-General Antonio Guterres, said the attack made the conflict much more dangerous. He warned it could threaten peace for everyone. He clearly said that fighting is not the answer. Mr. Guterres asked all sides to stop the fighting and talk. Iran and its allies were very angry. Iran's leaders said the attack was wrong and illegal. They said it was a clear break of international rules. Iran vowed to take revenge for the strikes. Countries like Venezuela and Cuba also strongly spoke against the action by the United States. Many countries in Europe and other parts of the world felt concerned. They worried about the fighting becoming a bigger war. They asked all sides to stop and be calm. The President of France said there was no justification for the U.S. strikes. Other European countries also asked for restraint. Mexico's government also asked for urgent talks and for the fighting to stop. Countries like Russia and China also asked for the situation to de-escalate. At the same time, some European leaders tried to find a way for peace talks. They met with Iranian officials in Geneva, Switzerland. They hoped to get both sides to talk and stop the conflict. But Iran's negotiators said they would not discuss limits on their nuclear program while the U.S. was attacking them. They also said the U.S. should talk directly with them, not through others. Experts who study military issues and nuclear science also had different opinions. Some thought the U.S. strikes were very effective. Others worried that the attacks might not stop Iran forever. They also worried about the risk of radiation, although most agreed this risk was low this time. Economists worried that the fighting could cause problems for oil prices around the world. People in the United States also had different ideas about President Trump's action. Some supported it, saying it was needed to protect Israel and stop a threat. Others said it was a mistake that could lead to a long war and was done without permission from Congress. So, the U.S. attack caused many different reactions around the world. It made friends happy and enemies angry. It raised worries about a bigger war and made many leaders ask for talks and peace. The world was watching to see what would happen next. 6. The attack details. The United States chose the places to attack in Iran very carefully. These places were important nuclear sites. The U.S. military used special planes and missiles. These had powerful bombs designed to hit strong buildings or places deep underground. The places hit were named Natanz, Isfahan and Fordo. Experts looked at the attacks closely. They checked if there was a big risk of dangerous radiation getting out. They said the risk was not high. This is because the targets were not nuclear power plants with a lot of radioactive material. They were places for making nuclear fuel or other steps. When the bombs hit the underground sites, like Fordo, the material was buried safely under rock and earth. The International Atomic Energy Agency, known as the IAE, also checked the sites. They reported that some buildings were damaged, but they did not find a major release of radiation. However, some experts worry about the future. They think these attacks might not stop Iran from trying to get nuclear weapons forever. Iran might be able to repair the damage or continue some work in other places. The attacks could set Iran's program back, but maybe not stop it completely. There is also worry about the economy. Iran is a country that sells a lot of oil to the world. When there is fighting in the Middle East, it can make oil prices go up. This means things like gas for cars can become more expensive for people everywhere. So, the conflict has risks not just in the region, but for people far away too. 7. Different opinions. After the attacks, people in America and around the world had different opinions. Some people in America supported President Trump's actions. They said it was the right thing to do. They believed the attacks were needed to protect Israel. They also said it was important to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons. People like Speaker Mike Johnson in the government supported the president. But other Americans thought the attack was a mistake. They said it was dangerous. These people worried that the attacks could start a new, long war in the Middle East. Some politicians, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, spoke against the president's decision. They said he should have asked Congress before attacking. People in other countries also had many different ideas. Israel was very happy about the American help. Prime Minister Netanyahu praised the president. But many other countries were worried. The United Nations asked everyone to be calm and to talk instead of fight. They feared a bigger war. Many countries, especially in the Middle East and other parts of the world, did not like the U.S. attack. They said it was wrong. Some experts who study wars and countries also had different ideas. Some thought the attack was strong and would stop Iran. Others thought it might not stop Iran for long. They worried that the fighting could continue and cause more problems. Everyone waited to see what would happen next, with many different hopes and fears. 8. What happens next? The situation now is very difficult and tense for everyone. Iran is very angry about the American attack. Its leaders say they will get severe revenge. This means they plan to fight back very hard. Iran has started to move its soldiers and missiles. They are putting them closer to Israel and also near places where American soldiers are in the region. America and Israel are ready for this. U.S. military leaders say they are on high alert. This means they are watching carefully and are ready for Iran's attack at any time. The Israeli military is also still fighting. They are looking for more places to hit in Iran. America and Israel say they want the fighting to stop quickly, but they have conditions for a ceasefire. They want Iran to stop its nuclear program completely. These conditions are very difficult for Iran to accept. So, Iran will likely not agree to this easily. Also, some people think Iran might fight back in other ways, like using computers to attack, or supporting its friends in other countries to fight. Leaders from many countries around the world are very worried. They are trying hard to stop the fighting from becoming a much bigger war. Countries in Europe are trying to help Iran and Israel talk. They are trying to find a way for peace talks to start again. But it is much harder now because the fighting has started. The leaders who are trying to help have less power to stop things now. Nobody knows for sure what will happen next. Will these talks work? Will the fighting get worse? This event has opened a new chapter. It is a time of great uncertainty. The fighting could spread to other countries nearby, like Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon, because Iran has friends in those places. The price of oil in the world could also become unstable if the conflict continues. It is a high-risk time for the whole region. President Donald Trump in America will also be focusing on this situation, along with his upcoming election campaign. This event will change many things for the Middle East region and for America's role there. A dangerous fight between old enemies, Iran and Israel, now with America helping Israel, is likely to continue in some way for some time. The world is waiting to see if this difficult moment will bring peace or a longer, more dangerous conflict. What do you think will happen next in the Middle East?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.